What's up everybody, today we're gonna be testing Ghost of Tsushima, which just received FSR 3.1 update. This is one of the first games that has received FSR 3.1 in itself. And yeah, so we're gonna be testing it out today on an RX6600 GPU. This is not overclocked in any way, and I'm using a Ryzen 5 3600 and 16GB of DDR4 3200 MHz RAM. This is a Gigabyte version of the GPU. Everything is on stock. I have not manually overclocked anything. So yeah, let's head over into the settings first. Let me show you guys here that I'm using 1080p resolution. I'm not using any upscale method. I'm using FSR3 native anti-aliasing. Now this in my opinion is one of the best anti-aliasing methods in this game, because this looks really sharp, even sharper than AA in this game. Doesn't look very good in my opinion, and it looks very soft and smudgy if you ask me. Okay, so this is just morning time of the day, and we are actually using the full GPU. We're on our horse. We're just galloping the horse and just moving on the road. As you guys can see, I forgot to show you the settings here. I'm using very high settings. Everything is towards the maximum. Alright, nothing is lowered. I've just disabled motion blur, okay, because I don't like it. And as you guys can see the performance here, I'm getting like 44 FPS average. Let's try to run here on our horse, and yeah, GPU usage is towards the maximum. Also VRAM usage is at 7.8 gigabytes. This is just for testing, and we're gonna just enable FSR 3.1 and see if how much of an improvement does it make, and also what is the result with the quality. Because in this game previously with FSR3, the roads and the grass, which was always moving, actually did look a lot smudgy. Right now, as I'm using native AA FSR3, it looks really clear, and it doesn't have any issues. But as soon as I'm gonna enable FSR 3.1, we're gonna see if it does still have those issues of shimmeriness, and yeah, you couldn't even make out the petals of the grass, like the blades of the grass, not petals. Petals are for, I think, flowers, not the grass. Okay, so you couldn't make out the blades of the grass when you were using FSR 3.1 on quality, even at 1080p. But now we're gonna see if we get some improvement or not in that department. Okay, so I'm gonna just enable FSR 3.1 on quality, and I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, we are back, and I'm at the same spot which I was at before. I've just restarted my game, and as you guys can see right here, I'm using FSR3 on quality. Frame generation is currently turned off. We're also gonna test that, but first I'm just gonna see that, yeah, this looks really sharp now. Oh my god. So the blades of the grass, as you guys can see, I don't know if YouTube is letting you guys see the difference, but previously you couldn't make out the blades of the grass in this game. And now also the performance, we went from like 40 to 50 FPS to like 80 FPS, so it's still very good performance. Very nice performance, and also very nice performance improvement, and also very nice looking image now. Let's see around our horse. Okay, there's still some edge issues which I can see around my horse. With the movement, I can still see some shadows around my horse. So I think this is the sweet spot that they've achieved very nicely, because DLSS, as I've seen myself, it also has some issues. Okay, it's better, I think a little bit better, but it also has some issues compared to this. Okay, and any upscaling method that you're gonna use is gonna have issues. It's not gonna be like magic that you're gonna enable it and the image is gonna just look the same and still you're gonna get the best performance. I would say this is 90% the best result that you can receive in this case. Okay, and we are in this grass area. These leaves and these white flowers, they look really good now. Yeah, so we're also getting like dropping into the 50s sometimes, which is a given. In an intensive area this is gonna happen, but we're just gonna see if we stay like close to 60 FPS most of the times. Mind you, this is actually very high settings, so if you guys use like high settings, which doesn't have much of a difference compared to very high, it's gonna perform even better. Okay, let's now enable frame generation, and let's see if the quality becomes better or worse. Okay, so looks like enabling frame generation doesn't require you to restart the game. Oh yeah, now I can see the quality has worsened a little bit more, but the FPS got like 120 FPS and looking like this. at 1080p even. If you guys used 1440p, it's gonna look even better than this, in my opinion. And this is almost like the best they could achieve in this case. I'm still very much GPU bound right now, as you guys can see, like 95 to 98%, 98 watts of GPU usage, which is the maximum is 100 watts, so it's like 96% usage right now. I'm getting some stutters, which I don't know why is happening. Let's try to move back. We're getting 100 Fps now, which is really nice performance coming out from this GPU. This game is not very intensive, as we tested out before. If you guys not watched that video, I would seriously recommend you to do that. But this is the latest version, so this is also an update to the game's performance now, and an update to FSR 3.1. Alright, so this looks really good. Yeah, impressive. Okay, now let's go ahead, guys, and let's try to use a little bit lower settings. I think let's disable FSR3 frame generation, and let's go to balanced, because I want to see that if we get much of a difference in quality or not. Yeah, we do actually. This has made the image a little bit softer, but still the quality is very good compared to previously with FSR3. The quality is still very good. Also, the ghostiness has increased a little bit around my horse's legs and yeah, my character, but still it's very good looking even at balanced. Now the frame rate is dropping into the 70s still, and my GPU usage is still I think close to 100%. So I don't know what's happening. Maybe we're getting a little bit CPU bound in this case now. Let's try to move from here onto the road. This looks really amazing, even at balanced FSR3. Let's enable frame generation now. Alright guys, frame generation has been enabled. As you guys can see, the FPS there looks like with this CPU we have a maximum cap like at 125 FPS. So this is the best that's gonna happen. No, it's actually increasing. It's at 130 now. So this is really nice, in my opinion. Even at balanced, it looks good. All of those wooden walls, they look a little bit shimmery compared to previously, and yeah, also the grass looks a little bit shimmery, but still it's manageable. It's really good. Like, I would say that FSR 3.0, which was using FSR 2.2 upscaling, that, and compared to this, I would say this balanced is still better than FSR 2.2's quality. So they've improved a lot in this case then. Yeah. So let's now go ahead and let's try to decrease it further, and I'm gonna disable frame generation, because frame generation I think is gonna make image a little bit worse. In any case, we're gonna use performance FSR3 because I want to see. Yeah, now it's a lot softer. Now this I would say is at 1080p at least. This doesn't look like very good. Okay, so if you guys want to use for the better image quality, I would say that use quality or balanced at 1080p. You could even use this performance setting at 1440p. We're gonna just see that in a little bit. Okay, so still we're above 75 or close to 75 FPS. Let's go to 1440p and I'll be right back with you guys. Alright guys, we are at 1440p resolution now. As you can see right here, 1440p 144 Hz. FSR3 upscale method is currently turned off, and frame generation is also turned off. We're at very high settings still. As you guys can see, now the game is looking a lot more sharper compared to 1080p native. This is 1440p native with FSR3 native AA, which makes the game look even sharper than 1440p in my opinion, and it makes the game look like better than that. Okay, so let's try to move here, and as you guys can see, we're getting like 30s FPS in the 30s, which is not very nice in my opinion. If you guys want to play this game, you should be at least close to 50 FPS most of the times, and as I've played this game, I've observed that 50 FPS feels really nice. And yeah, so let's now go ahead and enable FSR3 on quality, and let's see what kind of an improvement do we get. Alrighty guys, I've just enabled FSR 3.1 on quality, as you guys can see right here. This just says FSR 3, but it's actually FSR 3.1 if I have not already told you about this. But as you guys can see, we went from 30 FPS to about 50 FPS. Now, I would say that this GPU's RX6600 is not actually capable of running games at 1440p in this generation, but still looking like this at 1440p, I would say I cannot make much of a difference at like a 24-inch monitor. I cannot say there is much of a difference at 1440p resolution compared to native to FSR 3.1 on quality. And as you guys can see, the performance is hovering between 50 to 60 FPS. It will drop from 50, I would say, but it will not drop from 40 FPS. So this is, I think, I think this is kind of a sweet spot if you want to get more higher, even higher FPS, which I've got like a 144 hertz monitor, and I'm just gonna enable frame generation here. Okay, this is gonna make the game run even faster and make the animations even smoother, although I'm observing some shimmeriness and some ghostiness around the character, which is gonna happen. I think it's okay to have this much of ghostiness. It's not bothersome, it's not making me not enjoy the game in any way. And as you guys can see, the weather, oh my god, this looks really beautiful. This game has very good lighting and weather, but the textures are not very good. Okay, so we're now in the 70s. Sometimes we are dropping like in the 60s, higher 60s, but that's the most we're dropping to. I cannot observe much like input lag in this case, although I'm getting some stutters, and I don't know why I'm getting stutters now. But the FPS is hovering around like 70 to 80 FPS most of the times. Okay, so I think this gives you a proper idea of how FSR 3.1 is gonna be looking and performing, especially in games which have higher moving objects like this grass, blades of the grass and stuff. Yeah, so this is a very good representation of FSR 3.1, and I'm really impressed. I hope you guys are also impressed. What do you guys think about it? Leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.